Hey everybody. So I wanted to just share, I was in 9 airports in the last week. And interestingly enough, in each of those 9 airports, I heard conversations that people were having about having to have a meeting after the meeting, whether that was on Zoom or in person. And there was high levels of frustrations. And this frustration level was across all different sectors of our economy. And I know that that's the same in schools as well. I mean, none of us went to school to become teachers and said, I just cannot wait to be in a PLC. Oh, that's just going to be the best. Usually, PLCs are something that is an acquired taste over time. But one of the biggest challenges for us is that when we do get in meetings, sometimes it's just lots of potential, right? So we do lots of planning, lots of building, looking at evidence or talking about a practice, but then we leave that meeting without setting something into action. And that's frustrating because then we come back to the next meeting and we talk about the potential for more action, but we don't actually move to that action. So today I want to just briefly talk about how do we make these meetings that have this potential energy into kinetic meetings, where we actually take our collective knowledge and understanding and actually move it into action. I think there's just a couple of quick things that we can do. One, decipher which meetings are potential and which ones are kinetic. So if we're going to plan, call it, name it that, like that's what we're going to do. And if we're going to have meetings where it's like we need to look at some evidence and then drive that into action, then we need to name that. So the first thing to do is name it. The second thing is when you're having those meetings, finish your meetings off with who does what by when. Name it. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do it. And when I come back, I'm going to be able to showcase that. There needs to be some level of accountability. Now, that's personal accountability as well as social accountability. And then the third thing is what type of support do we need in order to make those types of things work? In those kinetic meetings, the third thing that I would share is that you need to start those meetings after you do a quick little check-in with like, how's everybody doing today? You need to check in with what did people do and what did we learn from that? So you need to start and end kinetic meetings with what was that action that we've taken. And I think if you just name it, I think if you hold some level of accountability and support on what we're going to do at the end, and you start and you end your meetings, frame it with that level of action, you can start to get a little bit more success, and you may not have as many meetings after the meetings and that being so, dreadful, and actually being something where we can actually build some action. So here's to kinetic meetings. Let's go do it. Thanks, everybody.